defending. I think it's like.
Are we live? Of course we're live. I think we're live. People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Large up the Twitch gang. Appreciate anyone who's listening to this on Spotify or YouTube on the replay. Now, first things first, Arsenal fan or not, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope you've all had a week to remember. I hope you're all, in the right space in terms of your health, in terms of, you're reaching your goals, hopes, dreams and ambitions. And yeah, man, I hope you're doing well and safe and you've started off 2022 in a great way. And by God's grace, by the end of the year, we've all achieved what we need to achieve and whatnot. So, yeah, I hope you've all had a good week. Hope you've all had a good sleep. Hope you're all looking forward to your weekend. I don't know how much Arsenal can look forward to it. We've got a North London derby and a barely a fit squad and whatnot. And we're begging the club to act in the transfer market, but it's one of them ones. We played a team yesterday who's won the league title more recently than us, and 10 men, it's all right. I do think Liverpool have a problem when teams go down to 10 men and do a low block, because that's not the first time I've seen someone walk away with something at Anfield after being down to 10 men. Personally, I think that Liverpool need to evolve now. Obviously, they're comfortably, in my opinion, the second best team in the Premier League, but on top of just needing new signings, it's quite predictable. Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to spam crosses and things like that. Robertson on the other side. The midfield, that again, it was without Salah and Mane and Thiago, but it was quite predictable with a neutral cap on looking at Liverpool. It's quite predictable, and they need to inject some life or they're going to get further and further away from Liverpool. And if they're not careful, I know Chelsea have their own question marks, but if they're not careful in the next 18 months, Chelsea might be the next, the guys that challenge Pep's side, City and whatnot. And I have nothing but admiration for Liverpool as a football club and Jurgen Klopp as a manager and what he's done. I can't lie though, Jurgen Klopp is sounding like a itch boy. He's always moaning about ish, man. I've always said, unpopular opinion, I've always said in football, I don't understand how Mane's been labelled this nice guy, which I'm not saying he isn't, but he leaves an elbow or two. And I didn't understand Jurgen Klopp is your best mate when you've won. He's terrible to deal with when you listen to his press conference and things like that. The man's even starting to believe the false positives things that was going up with his club. He just looks for excuses. Like for me, I hate managers that come out and say, oh, well, Arsenal just sat back. They just sat back. What do you expect? We can't pass you off the park without your two players that are AFCON. What do you expect? Of course, we're going to sit back. And definitely, we sat back anyways. But when we went to 10 men, of course, we're going to sit back. What do you want, Klopp? You want us to leave hella space open so that Trent can play balls in behind and Jota and Cole can run? What do you expect us to do? It don't make sense what you're going on with Klopp, man. And you just seem like a massive moaner, in my opinion. Klopp loves a good old moan, in my opinion. Every manager does, but it's just getting jarring and it's making him unlikable. Like, you're just moaning for no reason and moaning about things for no reason. You're always moaning. And, considering Trent Alexander-Arnold, forgive me if I'm wrong, is the only positive case of COVID within the side, placebo effect is fucking up his head as well, man. When you tell a lie so many times, you start believing your bullshit. Like, again, first thing, again, listen, people. Again, let's make sure this isn't muted and that.
In terms of your substitutions, was it sort of managing players after injuries and COVID as much as
it's strange? Even without symptoms, the boys, when they come back, when they didn't have symptoms the boys come back, and it's not exactly the same. I don't think there's an explanation for that in a moment, but we have to consider that as well. Of course, Joel came only back recently. Trent 3 days ago. So these kind of things. So that's clear. But we wanted to change as well, like system a little bit. So that's important, and that's what we did.
In terms of your substitutions,
you didn't change. You didn't change. Sorry, let me turn this off. You didn't change no system. We changed the system. That's Arteta's bag. Being proactively reactive, sitting back against a big team. That was Arteta's bag. I was impressed with how we set up when we had 11 men. The 4-4-2. It looked like we had good numbers. Committed performance when we went down to 10 men. We will get onto a certain individual who plays for Arsenal, but it's not worth the breath. Like, I'm not even. It's got to the point. Xhaka being sent off. I'm not even that vexed at him. It's like, bro, it's. You do this, innit? It's like, there's so many times, when, you lot that have kids, you tell your kids something and they don't listen. And it gets to a point where it's a wrap now, innit? Like, there's nothing else. Again, do I think it's a harsh red card? Potentially. For me, it's a stonewalled red. Xhaka is moving mad. You know, he's doing some Mortal Kombat thing. Do I think he's done harsh? We're caught on the counter attack. You know, Tierney and Gabriel are high up the field. Ben White isn't looking. Xhaka's actually filling in, but obviously he's fucked himself over. Bit like the City one. You know, he's actually seen that Bernardo Silva's unmarked. He's went over there, but you've seen the naiveties. And if this is what's going to happen with someone that's 29 years of age, we need to move on. You know, do I feel Xhaka is harshly done by refs? Of course, but it doesn't, for me, I don't care now whether it's a harsh red card, a stonewalled red card, clueless moments. We keep finding ourselves here. You know, we found ourselves here with Xhaka twice this season already, City and yesterday. Yeah, well, City 3 times, in fact. City twice, forgive me if I'm wrong. And this, for me, it doesn't matter now what the microscopic reason is. We keep having this. Fundamentally, it's Granit Xhaka and red card. Them two are together. People that don't know about football, if your brethren that don't care about football, you say Arsenal are the man sent off, they're gonna know who Granit Xhaka is, you know. And I do think there's a prejudice against Xhaka from a footballing point of view, because if he tackles, it's World War II. But from not about yesterday, because that's a red card. But for me personally, Arsenal got to be cruel to be kind. Whether he's being harshly done by or refs or whatever, it's affecting us now. Like, it is affecting us. So let's move on from this individual. Should have let him go to Roma last year. Let him go if Roma wants him this year. Whatever resale value you're protecting, you've swindled it. You know, really and truly. Again, last summer was a fantastic transfer period for Arsenal. Like you saw, obviously Ben White had a good game yesterday, and in general, people have been adapting and whatnot. But we buckled the chance of really revamping the spine of the squad, specifically in midfield. For me, it only looked like we wanted to bring a midfielder in when Xhaka was flirting with Roma, and that's when the Locatelli rumours. Again, you're going to live or die by midfield. Midfield is the most important engine in the game today. Obviously, defence wins you titles, strikers wins you games, but the majority of the battles are in the middle of the park. And Arsenal are not going to be able to do this. Respectfully, even if everybody's fit, there's no injuries. Xhaka and Partey is not a 30 partnership. 10 games, they're going to be good for 2, dodgy for the next 2, 30 in the other 2. And we're going to keep doing this. And we're going to keep doing this with Xhaka. He's going to be, you know, it won't surprise me if he bosses it. He goes on a run. You all know Xhaka makes a mistake. The next 3 to 4 games, he's unplayable. And then we get back here again. Fundamentally, it's just another incident that involves Granit Xhaka. And what I like positively, we reacted. It's not because we got a point, you know, or a draw to take to the second leg. It's not a thing where we're just looking at them incidences. But it is what it is, man, really and truly. Xhaka's going to keep continuing to let man down, really. And we got some more receipts to be looking at as well, man. Really and truly, you know. Again, the low block was fantastic. You know, I feel the subs who came, why Cedric started, I don't know. And obviously, I hope he's not injured. But why Cedric started, I don't know. Chambers showed when someone has a brain what you could do. Rob Holding off the bench did well. Ben White did his thing. Gabriel did his thing. I ain't going to lie, Ramsdale was a bit booky in that game with his distribution and a couple of the stuff. But let's keep that quiet. You know, Ramsdale is what it is. Martinelli, especially when we went down to 10 men, big performance. Bukayo Saka. It's boring talking about Saka, you know. Just give him a death row contract. He has to stay here for the next 100 years. Saka has to be here until we all got to die one day, until he dies, because Saka's amazing, really. You know, Lacazette, very good performance as well. Man to a man. I think Lokonga struggled, if I'm honest with you, but he's played the most successful passes for Arsenal in 12. Tierney did his thing. Everyone, you know, there are some positives. Mikel Arteta, big up to you for reacting positively. The only things I can look at as quote-unquote negatives, Cedric is not a right back. I'm sorry, Cedric, you're not good. Xhaka is a liability. In my humble opinion, obviously we've, you know, Edu and Arteta, we knew in August we needed to bring in midfielders, and now Xhaka has messed it up even more, and he's out for 2-3 games now after this straight red. So it hasn't really helped us, in my opinion, what we're going on with. So, boy, you know, the good thing is as well is we've got something to play for in the second leg. You know, 90 minutes plus extra time. Both teams have a fantastic opportunity of meeting Chelsea in the final. So there were some positives. I will say, as Arsenal fans, I think we need to, you know, big up the performance. I always say, if you can't win, don't lose. And we did that. But, you know, and, you know, if we did that in the league, that would have been a big point. I said it on my live stream. I wish that this was in the league, because a point at Anfield for us, 10 men, that would be a good look for us. But fundamentally, we still ain't won in 3 games. Now, 3 very different games. Forest, we were terrible. City, committed performance. It is what it is. Today, well, yesterday, committed performance, we drew 0-0. Now, I have admiration for 2 of those 3 games. But this is where now to go to that next level, and for Arsenal fans, we need to apply a bit of balance. As euphoric as it was, it feels like we're celebrating like we won. It's a draw. As great as it was against City with the performance, and it was definitely a better loss to City than we've expected. We still lost. So we need to correlate that with getting results and doing things, and not necessarily just being excited for not holding a cane in like we normally do, really. So it's brazy, man. It's absolutely brazy. I want to see what Klopp has said, man. And then what I don't like about Klopp, Klopp thrives off the underdog thing. He's trying his best to make out that we're the favourites for the game at the Emirates. If you heard his press conferences, and a little snippet, he said, even when probably Arsenal feels in a better position at the moment, we don't feel this tie is over for us. What are you talking about? How many injuries have we got? Why does Klopp? This is why it jars me. Why do man always try and do the Mighty Ducks underdog thing? You are not the underdogs against Arsenal. Stop gassing it, man. Really and truly. I just think for Liverpool, they just didn't have the spark they normally had. They were lethargic, uncharacteristically. I feel on another day, Arsenal might have been able to score. Saka probably should have bagged, if I'm harsh. It did feel like, I'm not just saying them, but their back five, there was times Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Alisson. There's no communication. Keepers coming out when maybe the centre half has it covered. I don't feel they had enough options. They had enough quality options on the ball for the man in possession. I just don't think they were as good as in the final third as they could be. Liverpool were quite poor in that regards, really, regardless of missing Salah and Mane. And that kind of highlights a problem both teams have for different reasons. Liverpool have a problem when it comes to depth in general, and there's a fall off. God forbid if something happens to Trent Alexander-Arnold, you have to draw from Nico Williams. Something happens to a striker. I know Origi's a cult hero, but it's very different if it's from now to the end of the season. You got to draw for Origi. The standard of the squad isn't good enough. There's not really any talisman. Firmino was missing. It's funny when you have to play against some decent centre halves. You can't do a thing against us. Mustafi and Bambi and Ice and all them man weren't there. Jota's a quality player, but other players could stand up to be counted, but they haven't got that. And in Arsenal's case, as you evidently know, we ain't got no midfielders. So what's going on? Like against Spurs, I don't know what's going on. We might have to chat to Klopp and talk about this false positive bullshit. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Or beg Arthur Melo to hurry up and get that signing done, really, really and truly. What are you lot saying, man? Just finished the job interview in time for the DG pod. Brig up yourself, P, man. Fingers, everything crossed that, it's positive. If not, then, God's got something better lined up for you. But positivity all the way up. You do what you need to do, and you got that job, man. We're 100% live. Can we finally dead the Xhaka debate? No, because fans will drop their panties again when he goes on a little run. Like, I don't think Xhaka is as bad as man make out. I don't think he's as good as people make out. Fundamentally, you're never going to progress while you have this. Respectfully, we've got the young G's come with mistakes. I've got all the time in the world for the young G's to make mistakes. Odegaard's giving stupid penalties away. Ramsdale had a bit of a shaky game against Liverpool. If we're honest, there's something to learn. Typically, you've seen Tavares and Lokonga drop clangers or make mistakes. You've seen Odegaard give away a penalty. And there's other examples, really and truly. That's something that with an average age of 23, 24, we're going to have in our team. And with them, I'm unlearning. With a couple of these guys, old habits die hard. I'm sorry, but at 29, this is Xhaka. You either accept him, which I feel to a degree Arteta has you. It is what it is, or you move on. And these things cost you points, respectfully. I'm not going to say, just by getting red cards and things, it pisses things up. But these things change games. I don't feel we necessarily win with 11 men, but I do think naturally you could do something. I feel we played the same way, really. We looked like we were just trying to do the shape thing, but these lot are going to cost you. These individuals are going to cost you at 29 years of age. Listen, I have no doubt about Xhaka's integrity. The man's just come back from COVID and he played, I have no doubt about his integrity, his commitment. It's just an ability thing. This is false. The foundations aren't strong. When push comes to shove, this is what happens, really. And now, because of that, we're fucked. Because of, we're hoping a midfielder comes in, or, we're in problems, really and truly. Or at least Xhaka should be a squad player. These are and it's got to the point now. I have to blame Arteta. You have made him feel important. You've played him. Arteta and Eddie, you lot didn't buy a midfielder in the summer. So while I have a sympathy somewhat, and I see what you're trying to do, my sympathy can only go so far. I always give the example. We've been knowing the rain forecast is happening. We either needed to get an umbrella, get a jacket, keep ourselves in our damn yard, What we shouldn't do is stand in the rain and complain we're wet. And I think that's the position Arsenal are in with specifically central midfield and Lokonga being your only fit one. And now we probably have to talk about what does Chambers go there? Does Ben White go there? Can we hurry this Arthur thing out? Is there any other options we can deploy? It's one of them ones, really, really and truly. It's brazy, man. It's brazy. Absolutely brazy, man. But it is what it is. And it's the thing where I'm not even vexed at Xhaka now. It's like you knowing them ones people, you just go past being angry and things like that, you know. Do I feel it's potentially a harsh red card on one hand? No, because bro, he beating man in his chest, bro. Like Jota's acting, you know, he's making sure it's a foul. But how can I say he's acting? He's got beaten in his chest. I see them on Sunday League all the time. You have to play on. But he's the last man. It's a goal scoring opportunity. He's beating man in the chest, in it. So it's wrapped up from there. Xhaka, you know, I thought he didn't actually, he was unaware. And I was thinking you should be aware. But if you watch the game again, he's looked. So you know what's going on. So, like, we're going for this thing. Like I said, Gabriel and Tierney are out of position. Xhaka's actually, he's tried to do the right thing. He's filled in and then he's fucked it. It's a bit like the penalty against City. He's seen Bernardo Silva's run. And I like that he's tried to get onto it. But then you've seen the naiveties. You know, respectfully, Xhaka is a liability. You should only be playing this man in them games like Norwich and Newcastle where we're at the Emirates, them and they are just sitting back. We can do our thing. It's a myth, man. Man's 29, man. Come on. If he's 19, I could put up with this. And like I said, I'm at that point now where we can microscope that potential red card and talk about it. But I'm not on it because fundamentally it's you and you. It's like a you. Like I used to get in trouble a lot for fighting in school and carrying on and things. And sometimes even the teachers say it weren't necessarily my fault. I was defending myself. My mum didn't give a shit. Like, you know, my mum didn't give a crap because fundamentally it's her pitney involved in another madness. That's the short. It's the headline. That's it. Xhaka, red card. That's the headline. That's it. We need to move on from this. And I don't necessarily agree with Jamie Carragher because I think he's harsh at times. And he's a bit, for someone that weren't 30 like that, as much as I can say that you're a Premier League footballer, you talk a lot in it, like you move like you done, like you was part of the Fergie teams and whatnot. But he's speaking facts on Xhaka, respectfully, man. Liability. People like this are liabilities. Must move on. You know, committed performance from a number of players, especially the young ones. But we can't listen. Xhaka, I heard that, man. He said sorry. Big up yourself for saying sorry. But a mistake made more than once is a choice. I'm not saying Xhaka is going out there to get sent off, but there's a pattern now. There's patterns, and we need to recognize them. Whether it's something mentally. Patting yourself, you know, and now you're out. I want to apologize to everyone. I am so proud of my team in the spirit they showed to keep a clean sheet tonight. Yeah, despite you not trying to. But Carragher believes Xhaka's ridiculous foul, which came as he chased Jota from an Andrew Robertson long pass, was just the latest example of him letting his younger teammates down. Xhaka does what Xhaka does. That damning statement, and we all know what that means, innit? He makes an absolutely ridiculous challenge when Jota still has so much to do, which is true. Personally, you know, I have to get into my Wenger bag, people. I have to protect Xhaka. You know, I can't lie. As much as Xhaka, I agree with Carragher. Football's a bit tribal. For me, anyways, Xhaka's still part of my arting. So I want to keep this in-house. But because Carragher said it, I have to now say, I can't lie, I never saw the tackle, people. I'm in my Wenger bag. I never saw the Xhaka foul. I have to watch it again, you know. Listen, Xhaka's our guy. We can get at him. You can't, man. It's a siege thing. He makes an absolutely ridiculous challenge that I didn't see. When Jota still has so much to do, the way he has taken him out and with the force he does it, there's no doubt it's a red card. You know, to be fair, not completely the same, but I've seen a lot of your Liverpool man get away with some leg breakers, but fair play. You know, I want to see same energy when Mane's elbowing, man. It's nice to see our players can leave Anfield with some teeth. From the outside looking in, every manager picks him. So I actually think he must be a good character, a good trainer, and a good lad. It's true. It's true. There's got to be a reason Emre, Arteta, Wenger used him. But if I play devil's advocate, maybe that's why right now Arteta isn't in the Champions League. Maybe that's why Emre couldn't return us to the Champions League. Maybe ultimately that's what led to Arsene Wenger's demise. I mean, Xhaka's a decent midfielder, but I'm tired of these midfielders where these fanboys show me heat maps and stuff and say, if you can't see it, you don't understand ball. Xhaka is not a bad player. He's just got a lot of bad habits. The cons in his game do not bring enough pros. I mean, the pros are not outweighed by the cons. Anytime you're ingrained on this sort of individual, it's a problem. So the fact is, let's not rewrite history. Say what we want about Xhaka. We were screaming, because whether it's a byproduct of we have no one else or there's injuries, fans, we were screaming for Xhaka. There was some sort of confidence that he's back in the team and all of these things, much like when David Luiz was here. Anytime these sort of players' absences are felt, or we're crying for them back for mentality, for spirit and whatnot, we're in problems. Him being a good character, a good trainer and a good lad, they're not enough reasons to keep a player. I get it. But I look at them Liverpool, man. Van Dijk, Salah, Mane, Fabinho, all of these guys, I'm sure they're good trainers, they're good characters, they're good for the young G's them. They reflect what the team's about. Everyone should bloody do that. They work hard. These are the luxuries we throw up when we were overcompensating. He's a good player as well. We've seen that in a Switzerland shirt and at times in an Arsenal shirt. But it does get to the stage where he's a liability in terms of what we saw tonight. We can talk about how great Arsenal were. Let's not go over the top, but we were good. But more often than not, you go down to 10 men at Anfield, you don't just lose the game, you're probably out of the competition. Facts, and you can't afford to always do this. Liverpool in a situation like that should be looking to win 2 or maybe 3. Big up to Minamino for missing that. And the game's finished. That goes to Arsenal having 10 men, and this happens too often. We spoke about how well Arsenal played against Man City, but that was ruined as well. And Xhaka was involved again, conceding the penalty. Be a bit fair to you. I do think, you are right, Xhaka. And I mentioned that Xhaka effed up against City, but at the same time, it was Gabriel who got sent off. Now, I've got more time for Gabriel and his mistakes for obvious reasons, but I do think that altered the game more than potentially the penalty. I'm just throwing that one out there to be fair to Granit. But again, and for me, it's the big games. It's the big games. I remember Leicester last season. We beat them away from home, or was it the year before? I remember Xhaka done some calamitous thing then, and it happened again, and we got away with it because we won. But this is it. These sort of guys, you're not gonna get to where you need to get to. And for me, I've been saying we're gonna live or die by this midfield. It just happens too much now. He's not a young lad where you think he'll learn from that experience. Trust me, when it's them young G's, bro, Lokonga, Patino, Tavares, all these guys, I've got time for that. Not someone who's 29. Or when I see the fuckery Cedric's doing, Cedric, I hope you're over your injury, but Cedric's another one who's not levels, man. These men are joke, man. And that's what scares me. We need experienced players to lead this thing. When you look at the experienced players, there's some sort of something at Arsenal against them. Like if we go through them right now, listen, we've just been speaking about Xhaka. You lot are smart enough to understand that I don't need to carry on using him as an example. I'm a big fan of Thomas Partey, but let's not kid ourselves. The jury, different reasons, like I said, but the jury's still out. Cedric, stealing a living, man. Stealing a living. I might go holler some makeup artist that does, that helped on white chicks and pretend I'm Cedric and go play at the Emirates because I'm sure I'll put in a better shift than you. Cedric, not levels, Xhaka, reliability. Partey, jewelry out. Aubameyang, last 18 months been fraudy. Lacazette, as great as he is, he's not scoring enough goals and he's not going to be here for in the next 6 months, assuming he doesn't get a new deal. When you look at the experienced players at this team, like just the ones that they through age, there's something against them. And I don't really have confidence in all of you collectively being able to help the young tugs them do what they need to do. So we need to bring in some other people or promote some other leaders and things. I do think I count experienced players as Tomiyasu, who didn't play, Ramsdale and people like that because they have a solid foundation. But he's not lying, man. He's not lying at all. It just happens too much now. He's not a young lad where you think he'll learn from this experience. He's one of the experienced players, and that's one thing that is stopping Arsenal from making that step up. And it's got to the point now where I'm not even blaming Xhaka. I have to look at Arteta now because you're playing him. Xhaka didn't. Arteta can't be blamed for Xhaka's foolishness. I'm not saying that, but you're putting him there. You have said in August, these are my options. I think he's good enough. I think we can get top 4 or whatever with these guys. So I need to look at you lot now. You got a couple of weeks left in January, get it together, or this, as I said yesterday, this is the period we're going to look back in August and say, yo, this is where Arsenal really kicked on now and got top 4, or this is where it went down the toilet. I'm so impressed with Mikel Arteta and these young players and what they've shown this season, but the actual experienced players in the team are the ones letting the young ones down. It's normally the other way around, and that's a massive problem for Arsenal going forward. It's never going to change now. We're talking about a guy who has played maybe 250 games for Arsenal. That is a player they have to move on. Facts. Paul Merson felt it was harsh to single him out. And as I said, Xhaka is he's the full guy, but we were out of position for that goal. And that's one thing I'll give him. Tierney and Gabriel, where were you lot? Ben White as well maybe could have done better. Xhaka just moving mad on his own accord. It wasn't what I've seen over the years from Granit Xhaka, where I think, what have you done that for? True. I wouldn't have a go at him there. One, he's tracking back. He could have got lazy and said, I'm not doing that. Also, there are too many players in that whole situation who are in no man's land. Exactly, as I said. It ends up with Xhaka getting another red. But if it was Kieran who got sent off, we would have said it was unlucky, of course. And that right is right and wrong is wrong. But clearly people are going to give Tierney more of a blight, Gabriel more of a blight, then Granit. Because, again, you know, if someone goes jail once, you might say, all right, cool, they made a mistake. They're a positive member to a society. If you keep going jail, you're a jail cat. Like, there's something wrong with you, innit? Like, and Xhaka loves going to the jailhouse and getting red cards and all these things. Like, ultimately, it's discipline. You know? I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh, Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. That was the lyrics that went through my head when this guy got that. Because, he's a misunderstood genius. I use that phrase strong, but it's brazy, man. It's a brazy one. Xhaka's apologized for what it's worth, but you get me. The best sorry is change behavior, and we've been here enough times. Like, respect, big up. I've never had to doubt Xhaka's mentality. All these things. Big up yourself and your character, and it takes big bollocks to say sorry, innit? Really. But that's where it stops for me. This is dead, bro. Like this, we've been here before. How much Instagram things have we seen? I want to apologize to everyone. I'm so proud of my team and the spirit they showed to keep a clean sheet tonight, which is true. Big them up. But now, Xhaka, rightly or wrongly, you're now at the North London derby. And the best of days, we shouldn't even, you know. I spoke about the young players, Tavares and Lokonga, not being able to be trusted away from home at times. You can't really trust Xhaka with this thing. Big games, you can't draw for Xhaka in this thing. It's not. It's a myth. What are you lot saying though? Sorry, man, that was some emotional therapy. Bermuda in the house again. Love your show. Also, a big ex-Tottenham lover and podcast polygamist. I can't say that, but big up the Bermudas. You know I can't say them big words there. So what, a low block is the best option against Liverpool? Jurgen is a itch. You'd think Klopp was a serial winner the way he moans when things don't go his way. I might allow him, but it's crazy. DG, how much was Xhaka's loan fee to Liverpool? I don't know, but when you find out, tell me, man. It is a good result, but it's half time in the fixture list. And again, if I'm Jurgen Klopp, honestly, I'm gonna, away from the red card, I'm tearing into my players because realistically, Arsenal on the best of days, Liverpool should have savaged us because we were sitting back. They were poor in front of goal. Arsenal against 10 men, walk away with a clean sheet. I'm sorry, but if I'm Jurgen Klopp or any manager, I'm boning out at my players, regardless of who's there or not. Realistically, from a Liverpool point of view, this tie should have been wrapped up in the first leg, you know, and doing what they're doing. Now, obviously, Liverpool are going to make their presence felt at the Emirates. Arsenal fans will as well. We dwarf them at Anfield Roar. It's a myth, innit? Maybe if Barcelona had our fans, that whole famous, you know, bullshit don't happen. Really. Since Arteta has been there, Arsenal have had the most red cards since 2019. Again, that tells you discipline's an issue. I'm seeing Liverpool fans start to question Klopp. I mean, listen, respectfully, I think Liverpool fans, if that's the case, show some respect, man. He's brought you the league title in 30 years and things like that, and a Champions League and things. But at the same time, no one's above criticism. He does bewildering things. Like, from what I see with Liverpool fans, I don't think Milner was terrible. It seems like a lot of them aren't really convinced on starting Milner in that game, and they were a bit concerned over his substitutions. And I don't really think you can blame Klopp for a lack of signings, but fans are getting frustrated with a lack of signings, really, and a lack of progression. Ramsdale showed his age yesterday. I'm glad that some of the mistakes didn't cost us. I think I saw Laka shouting that he kept playing the long ball and knock it about a little. And that's it. You know, that's one thing I didn't really like as well, because it gets tiring after a while. And Ramsdale has shown them things, but fortunately we got away with it. It's calm though, man. Big performance from everyone bar Granit. Yo, it would have been a different mood if Minamino scored 100%. I can't lie, you know, big up Ben White. I don't know who's made the correlation with Varane, but, you know, respectfully, I'm not going to accept overhyping from United fans, because they're the kings of that. You know, half of their players are the best players in the world, and they're expected not to do anything. I mean, who is Varane? Varane's irrelevant to me as an Arsenal fan. Just as long as Ben White's doing his thing, I don't really give a crap what's going on here. You know, you lot used to say Rashford's better than Mbappe. Now you lot are throwing him to the wolves. So, you know, let he who is without sin throw the first stone or whatever it said in the Bible. I should have listened in Sunday school, but I just wanted to play football, really. Man said Arteta had been doing to Xhaka what Ollie was doing to the whole United squad, lying about his ability. The man said at this point, I think it's a social experiment to see how much Arsenal fans can take, really. Probably. Not holding people accountable is not the one for me, especially after his 6th red card in an Arsenal shirt or something. Exactly. So that tells you there's a pattern, man. My anger at Xhaka was subsidized by the pride in the defensive performance and character of the players, apart from Xhaka, who unfortunately is our full guy. Big up DG. Ben White could have caught Jota offside, in my opinion. It's true, but for me, sorry, what's going on there? Sorry. StreamYard moving crazy. I hear you on that one, but for me, I don't like to play offsides. We're playing a high line, they're quick. Just putting up your hand for the offsides is a problem. I'm a bit different. I think Ben White could have just smelt danger, full stop, and tried to adapt. I think maybe for Xhaka, obviously, you don't need to boot man in the chest. Probably could have just, because he's a poor defender. You know, Jota is a bad boy baller, and he probably would have wrapped it in the goal anyways. But maybe just guide the situation, just stand up, stay on your feet, just kind of shepherd him away from your goal. Wait for recruitments to return, or arrive on the scene. Force the angles and give Jota a hard angle to work with. The harder the angle, the more Ramsdale has a better chance of saving it. And that's probably where Xhaka not having a defensive bone in his body, that's where you see the issues. Evidently, and obviously, as I said, Gabriel and Tierney on the transition, they've been caught as well. And maybe, you know, if he had a better number 6 or another number 6 in the squad, maybe he reads that, man. It's crazy, man. Would you rather have Vlahovic or Guimaraes? I've always said, as much as I think we need a striker, for me personally, we need to get a midfielder. Like, if worse came to worse, I'm not saying I'm happy necessarily with our striking options, but I'd be more content to persist with what we see with our attacking options versus, obviously, midfield. And I've maintained that from the summer. So if worse comes to worse, midfielder, definitely after, you know, people are getting injured. And then, you know, literally Xhaka's exited faster than he's returned, really and truly. I mean, Bondi FM, Bondi, it's a joke, mate. You know, every fan, whether you support Arsenal or whatever, people say nonsense, people gas things, but I mean, it's a fact. You said, you lot did say Wan-Bissaka's the best in the league. You did say Rashford's better than Mbappe. You did say Greenwood's the best. You did say Ronaldo. You know, you bought Ronaldo, so you need to win the league. You said he's the best in the league. You did say Luke Shaw's the best left back in the league. You did say Eric Bailly was better than Van Dijk once upon a time. You know, in your heart, you've heard them. You know, every fan, Gilberto, Carlos. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. Arsenal, United, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, you know, everyone does bullshit. You know, I do think United are, you know, I think Arsenal get excited, you know, and even the talk we're acting like we've won. I think United, you know, because you're typically used to winning titles, you delude winning titles with players' abilities. I think Liverpool fans and just Liverpool in general, they stand in the rain and cry while they're wet. If I'm honest with you, I don't know any City fans. Chelsea, you know, I think they're spoiled brats at times, if I'm completely honest with you. And I think they're hypocrites. You can't go from doing 2 to 4 different starting 11s and then cry about that. So every fan base does special things, you know, really and truly. I know everybody likes to think they're smarter than the next fan base and whatnot, but Bondi, calm down, man. I don't know how old you are, but yeah, man, you know, please just chill off, by my guy, man. Just relax, man. Every fan base chat shit, man. How you saying? Fairly balanced reply, bro. I don't make comments, and if I don't have receipts, bro. Man said this, and Arsenal fans say bullshit, bro. You think Arsenal fans? You lot that follow me, you lot always know I'm beefing Arsenal fans. They said Marie's better than Gabriel after 2 seconds. They said Tavares is better than Tierney. They call Lacazette lack of threat. Now they're breading. They said Smith Rowe kills flow. Now they're breading. They said Odegaard weren't levels. Now they're breading. Every fan base is special in that regards, man. But nice to see you're cool. And I see you got FM in the name. Make sure you're here at 4:30, my guy. Listen, you can't sleep on anyone. No one's done. United, Spurs, West Ham, you know, Arsenal, you know, we've gone from getting relegated. United have gone from winning the league to dropping down to back in. Spurs have gone from being terrible to good to terrible to good. Mathematically, there's still a lot to play for. Last time I checked, we're in January. You know, it just takes a bit of runs of form. Who knows? God forbid. Arsenal, with these injuries in the centre mid thing now, you lose to Spurs, the advantage to Spurs. But this is where you, and even now, because we ain't played, we've dropped out of 5th. This is where now the margin for errors become smaller and smaller. And this is where now any team, if you put a little bit of run of form together, you might find yourself in a good position. But if you mess about, you might find yourself with too much to carry. And for me, as I said earlier, as an Arsenal fan, I genuinely think this is the period I am as an Arsenal fan. I'm going to look back in May and say, cool, this is what really helped us get top 4 or Europe. Or this is where it went down the toilet. That's just me personally. I speak for myself and myself only with that one day. What do you mean? Sorry, people, I'm just making a timestamp. Again, you will never find a content creator that cares about you lot's viewing experience more than me. When this is available for replay, you've got that. Appreciate you lot for tuning in and whatnot. DG, what advice could you give to someone wanting to stream football content? I'm no one to be giving advice, my guy. I ain't achieved nothing really. You know, I ain't got 50,000 plus subscribers. Again, I'm appreciative of everything I've got, but you know, I'm big up you lot, but I ain't got 50k on YouTube. I ain't got 10k on Twitch. I don't know what's working, you know. So I don't really know what to say, really. I'm in no position to give no one advice because I ain't walked the walk in it. I need advice myself. But I would say be yourself. People are gonna love you or hate you for yourself. You know, people. I'm sure there's things people hate about me, people love about me. There's certain things I don't know what I'm doing that you are thinking with. Even the fucking people deluded and are we live? I literally am just asking myself a question, but people hang on to these things, and you're you in it. You know, people are gonna identify with you, whether that's the color of your skin, the way you sound, the area you're from. Simply put, just what you're talking about, because there's a lot of people who don't look like me or from where I'm from, but because of football, we unite. So I would say just be yourself in it. People love or hate you. Don't just do things because it's the right thing. And what if you can specify what sort of football content? I know there's people that like to do the banter thing. There's people that like to do the tactical stuff. You know, it's about you. It's you in it. Just stay true to yourself. Don't just do what's the in thing. I mean, it might work for you or someone else, but I would say just because I hate it and it's a bit selfish, don't be them. You know how social media is about reactions. Like you could come out today and I don't know, just say mad things like, I don't know, like Messi's not the best player ever, or just, you know how you can just come out with some was these days and it gets traction and things like that. So I would say you know, you can get somewhere doing that. You can, but I would say don't in it, because that acting up and that shouting and smashing stuff, I must assume if that's not you by nature, it's going to get exhausting in it. Like, and people are not going to want to listen to you if you're not moving mad. You don't, you know, make sure people are coming to your channel for whatever in it. I like to have a laugh and a joke and banter and things, but I like to have like decent footballing conversation in it, really and truly. And I think, you know, you got a lot of people that can't handle that and find balance, but you got a lot of you ones out there who can in it. So shout out to the Twitch gang, man. Don't tell YouTube, but you lot are my favorites. You know, YouTube, you're listening to this on the replay, you lot made me in it, but you lot ain't been rating me lately. You know, so I would say that, but truthfully, I would say just start. You know, in fact, that's the only advice I give. I say start. You know, don't be in anything, and this goes for anything. Don't think, oh, I ain't got to fancy this and I ain't got that and I need this and I need that, because you will just keep delaying and finding yourself making bad excuses where if you want something, you'll do it. It don't need to be perfect. My thing still ain't perfect, you know, really and truly. My thing definitely at the start weren't perfect. Big up to everyone who was here from the jump. We used to have my Colts in the background, you know, Pigeon Gang. Those of you that remember my lunch breaks in central London, I used to just run away with my paper in my hand. I'll be recording, pigeons are coming, papers are blowing and things like that. So as long as you're true to yourself, I think people will put up with it. I would say for me, if you can, if you have to find a choice between, you know, looking decent viewing wise or hearing, if you can go towards making the sound perfect, because that's one thing I noticed. If the sound is half decent, most people put up with that. I haven't gone to many games in the last season, but yeah, whenever I can. But I'm trying to return, man. I need to go Arsenal away this year. I'm having withdrawal symptoms. Seeing it at Anfield yesterday, like bare of my boys went all over Snap. I'm jealous, man. Jealous. Don't get twisted. I love doing the watch-alongs with you lot, but I was jealous yesterday. Still, I can't even cap, man. Very jealous, man. No worries, my guy. You need to have that charisma about you. Some people are born to be on camera and some are not. I hear that. But I wouldn't say I was born to be on a camera, you know. I'd like to say wouldn't say I'm a natural. I'd like to say I'm fairly comfortable in front of a camera now. I look back at some of my older stuff, like, and I'm sure you look can see, you can see development. Like, you can see development. There used to be times, like, even now, well, not even now, not now, but it's like I'll be talking and then you lot can't see it, but you know, in the middle of my computer, there's obviously the webcam in it. I would focus on the webcam or the camera, and I'm thinking about, oh shit, like we're live. Like, I remember the first time I went on AFTV, yeah. The first, like, well, 2 times. I remember the first little Robbie interview I had outside the stadium. In my head, I'm like, right, this is the big time now, isn't it? Like, man, just watch this on YouTube. Like, we're actually here, and it feels like a bit like, I don't know, man, because you have like you obviously anyone that's been to the Emirates. You see the crowd that forms when AFTV do their thing in it. I don't know about now, but it forms in it. And then there's hecklers, there's moaning. And one thing I learned, one thing that gave me confidence, whenever I went on there, the talking would stop. It would go dead silent. It's like people were listening, or it's like, man, they're spitting some facts in that. So I would say that. And also, when I went on the supporters club, I would say that was when I wouldn't say nervous, but I felt uncomfortable because I'm like, raw, like there's beer lights. Our AFTV got beer subscribers. It's crazy, but yeah, man. Just put yourself out your comfort zone, man. You know, do you know what I used to do as well? Like, you know, when you see people singing on the public transport, or you see like people preaching the world's gonna end and things, it sounds mad, but I used to look at them because it takes confidence, you know, to look like a madman doing that. You know, I must have looked like a madman in Central. Not even, there's nothing mad. I'm using a camera in it, but everybody's walking past. Like, what the fuck's he doing and things? You got to be able to block that out, man. So yeah, man. You got to grind with it, though. It's not going to be overnight. Trust. And take the slower way, because you'll be building up authenticity. You'd rather have 5 people who like you for you than 10 people who like you sometimes and whatnot. Because, you know, for me anyways, they're the ones that are going to support the thing, push the thing. They're the ones that, you know, when you think it's a myth, there's bare times, you know, even P, shout out to you. There was one time things were going on in my personal life. I didn't want to be doing content, but I saw a message from bare people. But I remember you must have said, like, oh, I was having a bad day or a bad period, boom, 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 this helped, man. I'm like, raw, like, if nothing more, that fills my heart. Like, you've provided some value in it. So they're the people that are going to rock with you. And for me, I've always said, when them people there try to cancel you and that, it's the fans, them and the DG Nation that are going to try to save, man, innit? Like you saw, they tried to rub me, Rance, and Matisse out. And because Matisse has people that rocks with him, Rance got people that rock with him. I'm thankful for you. Like, you lot saw through the bullshit, innit? If I was on some joke thing and it weren't really like that, man might have got fed to the wall still. So it's one of them. You need mental resilience in every damn thing you do in life, man. You know, you definitely need it. Because you get, you know, I've got thicker skin, but you definitely see some harsh comments like, fuck you, you're fucking shit. Like, sometimes I used to wake up. This is why I don't check my YouTube comments past a certain time. I remember what, I swear I told you like this. I woke up at 5:30, 5 a.m., 5:30. I woke up, I'm on my phone. It's bare bright. Obviously, lights are off. It's bare bright. I've opened my phone now. Oh, you're fucking shit. Man put a bare program. I'm like, raw. Like, what a way to start the day. Like, mad thing. But yeah, man, it is what it is, man. Hopefully, that was a good little segment, I feel, man. So yeah, man, big up yourself for that one, man. What other questions you lot got before we carry on? Don't forget, people, the good times aren't done because we go live at 11:30. Do not forget that. Beer content to come. Only one person's hit that like button. That's a fuckery still. But yeah, make sure you lot are here for that one. I've dropped the links. In fact, there's beer links to be dropped. The first one is for 11:30. The second one is for Spurs versus Arsenal on Sunday. And don't forget, Manchester City against Chelsea tomorrow, live from 12. We're there, man. Yo, DG, most people think I'm mean, so I always get demotivated to do YouTube stuff. Any advice? Mean? Be yourself, bro. There'll be people that think you're just all right, bro. Be yourself. Like, the reality is there's billions of people in this world. There's billions of videos on YouTube every day. There's billions of people that are always watching YouTube. Bro, you're going to tickle someone's fancy, innit? Like, People are gonna hate you, people are gonna like you, and this is why for me, obviously you got a different, like anyone who doesn't like my content because it's not their cup of tea, that's fair enough. There's plenty of that. That's not what I'm talking about. There's going to be evident haters, but that's where it's down to you to decipher. Even the haters, that's why you like sometimes someone will put a very nasty comment, but then I will take something away and be like, all right, cool, this guy's a pagan, but let me, or he or she's a pagan, but let me remove the person and look at the message. Is there something I can learn there? Is there something I can take away? Don't think you live on a, don't think you can, like, you're just by yourself in it, car. You know, that no man can live on an island, innit? I'm a Liverpool fan. Fair play to Arsenal. Feels like a loss for us, but hopefully second game is better. I hear that, man, but yeah, it would feel like a loss. If I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be frustrated because the game, on the best of days with 11 men, you lot wrap us up. That therefore should have been wrapped up with an understrength Arsenal team, as much as we can say that, and obviously the red card. And the thing is, if you lot probably scored one yesterday, you probably would have got a couple because, respectfully, and you know, it kills me to say it, but Arsenal do crumble with it. Like, we're all for that, man. Do you think Arthur will be ready for the North London derby? Boy, until I hear medical, I see I's are dotted and T's are crossed. I don't know. You know, we go live at 11:30. I think Chris Wheatley and Charles Watt said, in theory, for any new signing right now to be, you know, ready to play in that North London derby, they have to be registered at 12 p.m. So, boy, it's looking a myth, innit? It's looking like you got to slap Ben White in there. You got to try something with Chambers there. I don't know. You might have to do something, innit? You're hoping that, you know, can we somehow book it that Odegaard is somehow over COVID? You're hoping Smith Rowe is there, you know, hopefully. Boy, it's looking like a Lokonga, Ben White, Smith Rowe thing. And if I was Spurs' midfield is stinky, but, you know, I would fancy my chances. Personally. Games in 2 days, Charles. Boy, we need a miracle, man. Don't forget, people, I'm live at 4:30 on Twitch again, by the way. We're going to play FM. So it's bugged, man. It's bugged. But yeah, moving away from that, let's start closing some tabs so I know exactly what we're trying to talk about. Granit, apologies. So yeah, man, let's get on to Mr. Excellent Finish, Mo Salah. Now, I don't know how I feel about this Mo Salah thing, because new deal, because I feel personally there's many ways to look at it. I feel right now it looks like the right option to do. I feel it is the right option to do. You know, he's 29. You give him a 3-4 year deal. Salah for me could easily do it till he's 32. I know he's quick, but I don't think his game relies on pace. And I think even when he loses a yard, he can just go back to being a striker, which at times he's done at Liverpool. Right now it seems like a no-brainer. But as you lot have seen with Aubameyang and all these things, hindsight's a teacher. Obviously, if Salah stinks up the place and declines, then obviously they're stuck. And what Salah needs to ask himself, I know he's probably happy at Liverpool. You know, it's a fantastic club, fantastic manager. All of these things are great. It's a fantastic place to be at. We've got to remember, he's from Egypt. He's not from, you know, he's not from down the street at Liverpool. It's not like a Trent thing. You know, this is a job and whatnot. And if there is a small percentage of you that wants to try something, whether that's a new league, a new team, you might as well. Now, whether anyone's interested in Salah because of other reasons, I don't know. But it's a no-brainer. And to be fair to you, there's a lot of players that probably need to be moved on. I don't think Mane and Salah will get new deals. If I was a Liverpool fan, probably geared towards Salah, then Mane. But it might be a reality. And to be fair, if you wanted to sell Salah, where's it going to go? I'd say Liverpool need to. It's getting scary if I was a Liverpool fan, because, you know, if he doesn't sign a deal from now till before the end of the season, then this is a pivotal summer. You have a decision to make, and, you know, do you keep him going and keep him at the club? And then obviously when it gets to January next year, it could get a bit brazy, or you hope that next year could convince him, or do you bite the bullet and sell him? If you sell him, where to? Because it seems like, you know, if it's not Haaland and Mbappe, no one's trying to hear it. You know, Pogba, Salah, these guys could get moves and things could happen, but it's like everyone's trying to hear certain players first, really and truly. So I don't know. It makes sense to, you know, I don't think there's anyone that will disagree with giving Salah a new deal, but there comes a point where Liverpool need to ask themselves, when's enough's enough? Like, if you give him potentially some of the exaggerated wages, then that's going to have knock-on effects for other renewals, because you'd imagine you probably, you know, the Trents and these sort of guys have to get renewals. Now, they can't sit there and say, we want Mo Salah money, but it has knock-on effects. It's like any Premier League team that brings in Haaland, them wages there have knock-on effects for any renewals or any prospective players, really and truly. You know, if he wants 400, I don't even know if he wants 400 bags. I don't think Salah really wants that, but we've seen that reported. And you know what? the age I'm at, the football career is done soon, innit? I would be looking at that and, you know, pay me what I'm worth, innit, really? Because I've been quite a decent signing for people for a one-season wonder, as they said. You know, only Harry Kane and Jamie Vardy could match up to him for that. Apparently, Liverpool are not prepared to meet Mo Salah's demands, despite Egyptian's crazy comment. Liverpool are reportedly short of a contract agreement with Mohamed Salah, even though the Egyptian has publicly stated that his demands are reasonable. The flying winger is in the final 18 months of his deal at Anfield. Let's scroll the way down. As we know, he's at AFCON, so he's irrelevant for Liverpool until Egypt obviously go out. Saying that, though, the last game for Egypt, boy, you know, there might have to be a Liverpool tax applied to Salah. I never saw you know, really. He said, I want to stay, but it's not in my hands. It's in their hands. They know what I want. I'm not asking for crazy stuff. Very smart from Salah, because let's be real, Salah and his agent know that, you know, Liverpool fans are onto the club and FFG and them, man, already. They know, man, there'll be riots if Salah leaves, innit? So when you say things like this and make out, well, the club know what I want, it's in the club's hands, fans are going to say, hurry up, what's going on? The thing is, when you ask for something and they show you they can give you something because they appreciate what you did for the club, which is true. Is that it? I've been here for my 5th year now. I know the club very well. I love the fans. The fans love me. But with the administration, they have been told the situation is in their hands. So, yeah, he's reportedly among the highest earners. And he's also believed to be earning in the region of 200K a week. So, probably does want to double that or get to a 300, 350 and whatnot. And at 32 years of age, it makes sense. You know, if you're in any other walk of life, you deserve to get paid if you're one of the best in the organization. But this is where Liverpool need succession planning. This is where moving on from players, as crazy as it sounds, this is where it's vital. They need to know who's replacing Salah before it gets to that, because, you know, on the best of days, I'd say Liverpool need to probably get a couple of players for a rebuild. You lose Salah, it's a myth. I think 380, you know, I would do it. 400, I wouldn't do. 350, 360, 370, 380. I personally think they'll get an agreement done. It's one that's going to drag on, really, innit? Because Liverpool have to stand firm. These men have to stand firm. I don't really care about what Jamie Carragher said on this situation, people. But it is what it is where that's concerned. Allegedly, Tottenham players fear Antonio Conte could quit just months after taking the job. Boy, when you're playing Galili in the semi-finals, that tells me someone that don't care anymore, really. He signed an 18-month deal, and I am begging Conte to leave, because if Spurs somehow have Jose Mourinho and Conte and have a grand total of fuck all to show for it, pardon my French, that's amazing. Apparently, some of his players are concerned that he may already be looking to be quitting. Bro, his wigs, he's going to be bold. You know, he's going to lose all that pretty hair on his head being a Spurs gaffer, you know. Conte could quit next month if he's not backed with new signings in the January transfer window. And he did say Spurs have to match his ambition a few weeks ago or whatever, when we spoke about that. You know, Tottenham have spent in excess of 300 million on new players without significantly strengthening the first team. So, boy, if it was Arsenal, they're ready to tell us when our signings have been poor. I need, pardon me, we need dialogue over Ndombele for 50, 60 million. We need that. Emerson Royal, pardon my French, we need that. Galini, even though he's a sideman, we need that. Because when it's Cedric Suarez and these lot, rightly so, we get it. When it's Pepe, rightly so, we get it. You know, when it was Pogba, Pepe, Havertz, they get it. I thought Spurs meant to be the biggest team in the world and whatnot. And in the cup, I swear, you know, after a draw against Liverpool, us North London boys, us North London clubs are shameless. We do love gassing a draw against Liverpool. They were meant to be back. Fair enough. So, yeah, with just over 2 weeks left of the transfer window, Daniel Levy and Fabio Patrici must act fast to obviously help Conte. You know, apparently he might quit. So that bit of a, you know, they overhyped it, really and truly. But yeah, man, really. What else have we got? I want to see what Ronaldo had to say. And obviously, I don't know if you've seen it, people, but Mino Raiola, the super agent, was admitted into hospital. Apparently, it was planned, and he has not undergone emergency surgery. So, yeah, nice to see. It's just ordinary medical checks, and the 54-year-old super agent is all right, man. You never want to see anyone in any issues. Really and truly, what's this? Oh, this is all my Arsenal stuff. Apparently, Cristiano Ronaldo has concerns over his Manchester United teammates' attitude and fears they are ignoring his advice and is baffled they don't work harder in the gym after training. I mean, I do think a lot of United's players haven't got the right growth mindset, but I mean, allow it, Ronaldo, man. Apparently, he's hinted United's younger players are not listening to his words of wisdom because, I mean, you're getting paid 100 bags a week. You're playing for the biggest club in the land in Man United. You're getting paid 100 bags a week. Everyone's telling you you're amazing. They're going to say, who is Ronaldo, blood? Who are you, fam? Like, what? You're one of them old brothers. Bro, you're forgetting. Like, I'm 26, and it's starting to get mad. Like, there's people now that have never seen United or Arsenal win titles. There's people that haven't seen certain players. There's people that, Messi is going to be, they haven't really seen Messi. They ain't really seen half of these guys, really. So, Ronaldo, bare people soon are going to say, who are you? Like, respectfully, that you're going to be in the Pele bracket. Man, just going to know you as some old head, like Jay-Z with the rap thing and that. Like, it's a myth. But I think Ronaldo's comments are facts, though, if I'm completely honest with you. I don't know which one's got all the full comments. So, yeah, man, we're going to pre all of this. He also said, I say we have a long way to improve because for me, the most important thing is the mentality to look at yourself and say, I can do better, which is true. And I do think a lot of United players are not doing that. For you to be professional, help the team, the right mentality, self-taught and positive, all these details depend on you, not the coaches, the fans or the press. If you are proud of yourself and you have dignity, you have to do much more. That's true. And he also said, if I give you advice, even if you're younger than me, if you don't implement that during your daily life, it would be difficult. I will be the number one to help. But if you don't want my help, do your job, look for yourself, do your best to help the team. I can speak all day with that person, but if it's not coming from inside of you, it's impossible. You can take someone to the water. You can't force them to drink. When I was 18, 19, 20, and some of the older players spoke with me, I put that as Ronaldo. You have to improve. And it's true. You need to leave your ego at the door. A lot of these players in football, they see it as a personal attack. Like at my current Sunday league team, Rongans, my coach told me he could shout at man. I know you're not getting at me personally. We all want the same thing. That's how I am. If I'm not doing my job, shout at me because I'm ready to shout at other men or communicate in a certain sort of way. I think this is what you need. Man can be good friends but be enemies. I think nowadays everybody sees it as you're attacking me, you're getting at me, you're attacking me, you're saying I'm not good enough. A lot of these players need, a lot of them are wearing knickers, a lot of them are just yatties, man, really and truly. A lot of them are on their periods. A lot of these guys are prima donnas. A lot of these guys need to get their Brazilian wigs and that and dresses and that because these lot are yatties. I'm not even a United fan, but I do see all of this. A lot of them are stealing a living. A lot of them think United owe them something. You don't owe United nothing. They don't owe you nothing. You're in a privileged position, and every fucking day you should relish that. I'm an Arsenal fan, but if I ever got the chance to play for Arsenal, it'd be amazing. If I ever got the chance to play for a big club like United or Liverpool, my word, Ronaldo could never say that about, man. A lot of these guys, and when you've been in this environment probably for most of your life and been pampered and that, you probably don't realize what you've got, really. But at the same time, sometimes personalities can be overbearing and things like we do. Remember, if you lot remember, when Henry left, not when he returned to Arsenal, when he left, he did say, you know what, maybe my personality, who I am, is a couple man can't come out of their shell sort of thing. Maybe there's that with Ronaldo in the squad. I'm not too sure if any United fans agree or quite frankly want to hear any of that. But yeah, man, he's right. Apparently, Sportsmail also learned one example where Ronaldo complained privately that he's one of the only United players who goes to the gym to do extra work before and after training at Carrington. But you took the custard off, you took the cake and custard off the menu. People probably getting creams in that after the game. Deep thing is, I bet McTominay's right next to him in training, but it just don't count because he's rubbed. It's true though, man. It's true. He said, impossible. I think that's the main point. This is why I say we have a long way to improve, because for me, the most important thing is the mentality, to look at yourself and say, I can do better. For you to be professional, help the team, have the right mentality, be self-taught and positive. I think all these details depend on you, not the coach, not the fans or the press. Well, we've already said that. Sorry, people. We all know. And this is what took Ronaldo from being a very talented player to the best in the world, the mentality. And this is what's kept him there, regardless of him declining and things. He's still there. And he's right. He said, you have to look in the mirror and say, I give everything. I think all of us should do that. It's a new year. We changed the page. We have many things to win, and we have to believe in that. If not, it'll be a nightmare. I try to improve different things and better things to help the team. That's the main point. We are all here to make the team better. So let's try. We have to be united in different moments. And that's true. And I always say that when I look at Arsenal, if you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I applied myself and go to sleep, then fair play. But I don't know about a lot of people. I know if I'm honest with myself, I know in my heart, if I've shagged myself, if I haven't applied myself, and my conscience will keep me up. Same way I can sleep easy if I know I've tried my thing. Ronaldo has said, I don't want to be in a club to fight to be 6th or 7th or 5th place. Leave them, brother. This is you lot's thing. I'm here to try to win. I'm back in Manchester because I love this club. Oh, it's not just because of the money or whatever. Lies. I believe that we have the potential here to win important things, but some things have to change. I believe if we change our minds, we can achieve big things, which is true. And they should listen to Ronaldo. He's seen it, done it, lived it. To build up a good thing, sometimes you have to destroy a few things. So why not? New year, new life. I hope Manchester United can be at the level people want. The last 5 or 6 games, do you think United played very well? No. Everyone knows that. We have time to improve. We have a squad with potential and a new manager. Why don't we believe we can do better? You have to be positive to try to change things and to play how Manchester United fans want and the history of the club. This is why we're not going to give up. The only guys that give up are those who are mentally weak. Trust. We should win the league or be in 2nd or 3rd. In my heart, I don't accept that. Our mentality can be less than being the top 3 in the Premier League. I don't see other positions for United, to be honest. We're United. Get with the time. Sorry, people. I can't help it. I'm just trying to piss off G1 and Shakib if they're out there. But whatever Ronaldo said, it's facts. You can't say anyone who's got a problem with that. I think they're moving Buki, or they need to come out the club as well. Patrice Evra is he's a weird individual, and I think he needs to be very careful. I know he's come out with a book, but he's claimed there's at least 2 gay players at every football club. So listen. We should get into a scenario where everyone can be free to be who they want to be, regardless of, sexual orientation, religion, race and background. But I think Evra's got to be very careful with them sort of claims, especially baseless. But then again, Evra's a guy who sucks raw chicken for social media, really. And he killed me. He said Lillian Thuram thinks he's Malcolm X. I might just buy Evra's book just because of the foolishness that he's coming out with. And he's also said, even in a car crash, we are going to say it's because you have COVID. Again, I'm not going to focus on this, but, Patrice Evra has revealed he's a COVID skeptic. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not skeptical, but I do think everything is related to a death over COVID. If someone gets hit by a car, it is that. But yeah, man, I'm not going to focus on that. You lot do that. I don't need YouTube and Twitch to start messing with man and all these things. Apparently, Manchester City's income is now more than their rivals Manchester United after recording revenues of 537 million last season, and their noisy neighbours have the most valuable squad in the world, people. Boy, is there financial manipulation there? I don't know if it's legit, but you get it. It is what it is in that regards, folks. Obviously, we've got the Premier League to come this week as well. Like I said, North London derby, Spurs are depleted of ability. We've just got we just have a depleted squad. We're going to need to stand up to be counted. I'm very nervous, as I always am, for the North London derbies. I would have a lot more confidence if we could get some players in and things, but that's going to be a big game. Obviously, you've got Manchester City against Chelsea. If I had to pick a winner, obviously it's City, but I think Tuchel has Pep's number, so that one there might be political. Today, you've got Brighton against Crystal Palace, where, come on, Vieira, you don't want to get started and get Eddie Nketiah signed up. In terms of the Premier League, you've got Brighton, Palace, Manchester City, Chelsea, which I'm doing a watch-along for, Newcastle, Watford, Norwich, Everton, Wolves, Southampton, Aston Villa, Manchester United, which I'm trying to do a watch-along for because, Coutinho, this guy, that guy. I just think that game's going to be mad entertaining. You've got Liverpool, Brentford on the weekend, where we hope Ivan Toney can do a thing. You've got West Ham against Leeds, where considering the top 4 race, you're hoping Leeds can do a favour. And then you've got the North London derby. So once again, it's a political game for everyone. West Ham beat Norwich in the week. If West Ham do the business against Leeds and, Spurs and Arsenal draw and United beat Villa, United and West Ham are somewhat laughing, really and truly. So, yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see what's going on with the Premier League in that regard. United players going to take out gym membership for 1 month, then cancel the direct debit like the rest of us. Hey, speak for yourself. Some of us, I keep going in the gym. To be fair, I'm going gym today as well. You can't force these players to be tough guys. Not everyone can be. Ron's approach is right for the time we grew up in, which is true, but it's a new age and a new method is needed. I hear that, S, but I don't think I think everyone's got to be tough. And what I mean by that is, I hear you. Not everyone's got to be slapping up the chest, Roy Keane, Vieira and carrying on. But what I think is everyone's got to be tough, mentally tough. Forgive yourself. Don't think you're too good when you've won. Don't think you're rubbish when you've lost. Always try and improve. Hold yourself to the highest of standards. If you're you might be the best you can be. If you're shit, be the best you can be. If you're good, try and be better. And I think if you go through that United team, not a lot of their players can say they're applying themselves, they're giving their all. Very few. As a neutral, I'd probably say within his capabilities, he's rubbed. But I would say McTominay's one who actually leaves it all. You know, a couple of players at United look scared, couple look bewildered, couple look like they don't know how to fight, they can't fight, or they simply won't fight, which is not, you know, you're only as good as your weakest man. Really. It's crazy, man. But you're right, you can't listen if, you know, there's other ways of leading. There's people that, you know, might never say a word, but when they say a word, it's you know you need to listen. There's certain, and you've had this, anyone that's played Sunday League, there's players that barely say 2 words, but when they speak, everybody listens because, oh shit, they're speaking. There's a couple people that might say words here and there. There's people that are just like jukeboxes that don't shut the hell up. There's people that just lead by example, you know. There's people that, you know, there's many different sorts of being a leader and whatnot. Yeah, Evra put raw chicken in his mouth. Evra's a weird guy, man. Like he was a good fullback, but he's a very deranged individual, man. Like I can't lie, man. Evra, bro, I wouldn't turn my back on Evra. And Evra looks serious, like there's something wrong with Donny, man. Like he's genuinely baffled. Sterling won December Player of the Month over Martin Odegaard. All right. Fair enough. Bit booky, but fair enough. Fair enough. Absolute nonsense, but all right. If that's how you're rolling, okay. Ever ain't the man. Ever's a weirdo, man. Ever's a weirdo. I'm not gonna sit here and cap. Ever just fucking weird, bro. Like weird a guy, like just a weird individual, like genuinely just weird. I'll swap places and be labeled. I'm calling him weird. He's a millionaire, but it just shows you can be rich and be corny as hell. So it's like he's trying to do viral moments. Looking over the transfer stuff, Liverpool are reluctant, as we said, to meet Salah's wage demands. Apparently, City want to move for Vinicius Jr., which is probably a myth. Liverpool have ramped up Gerard Bowen interest, where he had a good game against Norwich. Chelsea have no plans to sanction a Mangla Sarr loan. I think they'll sell that 22-year-old when in the summer when certain people come in. West Ham have expressed an interest in PSG's Diallo, but have been told it will cost 25 million euros. Chelsea prefer a loan deal for Sergio Dest. Robbie. Apparently, Niklas Sol is set to snub a move to Newcastle. Juventus want to insert a purchase option in the deal for Arthur and are prepared to only let him sanction if that's the case. And I want that, you know, I want Arthur permanently. I rate him. Man United are looking at Fabian Ruiz. No decision has been made on Van der Beek. Apparently, you know, there's talk of him going out on loan. Ralph Rangnick wants him to stay, but if you want him to stay, play the Don, man. Ironically. Atletico Madrid are targeting the lot, you know, and they've been linked with Cedric before as well. So that's obviously because Trippier has kept it moving really and truly, which is a myth. 06 Torch, appreciate you for cheering, my guy. I don't see many of them, so I appreciate that. Shout out to you, man. Large up yourself, my broski. Appreciate that. Hope you and everyone else is doing well and safe. Aston Villa are closing in on a loan move for Robin Olsen. Diallo could complete a move to Borussia Dortmund on loan to Manchester United, Donny. Maxi Gomez is eager to leave Valencia, has been linked with Juventus. Roma are looking at Babacar Kamara. Arsenal are looking at Glenn Kamara. How much time are they going to spin that one? And that's what Goal.com is saying. Let's see what BBC is saying. BBC. Yo, I don't want to buy a domain price. What's a domain for 335k US dollars? You're moving mad. What was that? Newcastle have signed Wood as well. That would be good for them, you know, Trippier and Wood. That will help you get out of the championship at the first attempt, in my opinion. Quick little other transfer news, people. The BBC news column. Apparently, Manchester United have offered Donny van der Beek to Newcastle and Borussia Dortmund for what it's worth. Pochettino's been contacted over the managerial role. Bowen is keen to move to Liverpool. Newcastle are looking to sign Todd Cantwell. Todd Cantwell's stock's kind of falling, isn't it? Really and truly. He ain't really done much. Diego Carlos is subject to a bid from Newcastle, who have also made a bid for Fiorentina's Serbian defender Nikola Milenkovic. Can you only bid for their players after we confirm Vlahovic, please? Because they might switch things up. As you lot know, Conte left Ndombele out of the squad because of the sporting director, and apparently Juventus are looking at Ndombele. Boy, if the Spurs fans are onto you about running, you think the Italian fans are going to have it? Southampton want to make 20-year-old Albanian striker Borges loan from Chelsea permanent. Christensen is drawing interest from Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund. Jurgen Klopp expects Origi to stay at Liverpool. Liverpool are looking at a summer move for Jude Bellingham. I hear it. Chelsea are ready to make one last extension offer to Rudiger, whose contract runs out. Bit dead, really, in terms of transfer news. There ain't nothing, no, not really anything. Obviously, I've skipped a couple of stuff out because we keep getting linked with Arthur and that, which I don't know how to look at that one. Always dull, man, because no one wants to sell anyone. And people just want to sell duds. Like, you go through half the team. But Arsenal are only trying to sell duds. You know, Aubameyang's behaving like a dud, so we're trying to sell him. I'm sure United, they're just the duds that are allowed to go, whether it's through ability or not playing. No one wants to sell their good players mid-season. Like, it's just the shit, man. The lot can go to Atletico. We can just take Lamptey. You need him still. Lamptey would be a big signing for United, if I'm honest with you. That's the sort of man you need. Like, I like Wan-Bissaka. I think people, you know, it's funny to do the banter thing about Wan-Bissaka, but I do think he's scapegoated. But he doesn't look like he's getting any better. And when you're not at a point, when you're not getting better, you get worse. And I just don't think he's a United starting fullback. He's just not improving. Like, it's just a myth. It's just a big, big myth. Like, it's 50 million. You know, you just have to accept the fact Crystal Palace fleeced you, man, and just move on with that one, in my opinion. It is what it is. It's crazy, man. Man called him C.R. Kelly. You lot are moving big. You lot stop, man. You lot are, oh, Lord. Do you think if you take Salah out of the system and the team, he'll be as good? Yeah, because I think, obviously, the system helps him and whatnot, but I don't think Salah's reliant on the system. Obviously, you saw him for Egypt. You know, I think, you know, you might go to a team where the right back isn't setting you up, but I think Salah will be right. I don't think there's a single system Salah can't play and excel in, you know, personally. So, yeah, man, I think he'll be good. But naturally, obviously, if you know, they built that system for people like Salah to thrive. So naturally, if there's a system where he goes and where there's not an emphasis on providing him service, then naturally you're going to see stuff not happen for them. So, yeah, man. A man said, DG, your loyalty to the Amandem is admirable, but Wan-Bissaka is rubbed. Hey, man, you know me, man. The man, he's rubbed. I never said he's not rubbed. He's rubbed, but get me, you're cool, man. I like you, man. You're calm, man. You're calm. He likes it. You know, I'd like to be driving foreigns and not speeding and hurting people, but I'd like to be driving foreigns like Wan-Bissaka as well, really and truly. You gotta, you know, large up the random, man. I can't lie. But on that note, though, people, I've got 15 minutes to pattern myself until the next live stream, people. So as I said, make sure you're here. The good times are not done yet. We're going straight over to YouTube where we're going to speak about Arthur Melo, Telemans, Vlahovic, all this sort of jazz people. I'm not going to sit here and cap. I'm probably going to be mad late now, but at least it was for a good cause. It's for a good cause, people. So, yeah, make sure you're here for that one. Again, tomorrow, Man City in the morning. Make sure you're there for that. I'll probably do Aston Villa United in the evening. I'm back on Twitch at 4:30 as well. Make sure you lot are there. Sunday, it's the big one, innit? Hour before kickoff. I got you lot, man. 3:30. Know what to do. Last question. What's your thoughts on Smith Rowe transitioning into an 8? I want him to be able to do that in time. I think right now, you know, just keep doing your little 10 thing and your inside forward thing. But in time, I need you to be able to play as an 8. I think he can do that, really. I see him. I see him as a bit of Grealish. Like, you know, I think Grealish can play in a deeper role in midfield, which he doesn't do too often. He can play off the left. He can play in the 10. Obviously, you want him to try and be like Kevin De Bruyne in that 8. But naturally, yeah, man, you know, with Smith Rowe. Hopefully, Smith Rowe's over his injury shenanigans and whatnot, and we've got him for the weekend. People, it's been a fantastic way to start my live stream. You know, I think technically now 11:30, 4:30, 3 bits of content from me. This has been a fantastic way. You lot have got me awake. You lot got the creative juices flowing. As usual, it's a pleasure to be here with you lot. And every day I stream on Twitch, I'm seeing the numbers go up. So I appreciate everyone supporting the thing, following, subscribing, especially if you've got Amazon Prime. Love for the cheering when you lot do that. Love for you lot's interactions. You lot make the content, really. You know, that's one thing I like about my community. You lot are very interactive, so I don't force things. So yeah, man. The only bad thing I've got to say is we've got to keep it moving, people. You lot stay blessed, stay safe. This will be rerun on YouTube and that, but big up to everyone who catches it live in real time. On that note, you lot stay blessed.
because you always just gotta act when defending.
I think it's like